Hey guys, I am excited about you being here. My name is Rhonda. Rhon'sWay is my company. I am committed to a better you. I work with mature women, typically 50 up, in regards to what are we doing with the second half of our life and how to get to our point where we are happy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? Day one is drinking your water. We're talking about 5 ways in 5 days to start changing your life. Thank you so much for being here. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to give you some information. So let's go ahead and get started. So, who am I? I call myself a transformational coach or mentor, things of that sort. Coach is so overused. Everyone is a coach. I'm like a strategist, man. I want to make sure that I'm going to strategize for you individually to get to where you need to be. All right. So everybody take what they need, put it in your pocket, use it so that we can make this happen and become a healthier people. That's what it's all about. So, who am I? I'm a certified health coach from the Integrative Nutrition in 2012, and I have been practicing health and doing things for me, my family, my friends, and clients for over, maybe about 5, 6 years now, and making a difference and making an impact. So, what you're going to get here today, we're talking about drinking your water. I do have a bachelor's degree in social work. I have a master's degree in inner city studies, and I'm an author of Soul Combining for a Slimmer, Healthier You. I was featured twice in a leading organization, Mary Kay, and I also am the proud owner of 8 coloring books and journals, as well as 500-piece jigsaw puzzles, as well as note cards, all of that, all with the positive spin on it. Positive is I live in a positive lane. So just to kind of give you an idea, this right here gives you even more of an idea of all the stuff I just said, the coloring books, my certificate, my book that I did, and featured in magazine, the Mary Kay magazine, which was I was very proud of. So let me share with you. My life purpose is to empower, inspire, with some enthusiasm to make you think. So today we're talking about water does a body good for real. Okay. So how many glasses of water did you drink today? I'll pause. How many glasses of water did you drink today? Why is water so important? Your body is made up of water, guys. Our organs, our tissues, regulating the temperature of our body function, all of that is water is needed for our cells and things of that sort. Because your body loses so much water when you're walking, you're breathing, when you're sweating, you are eliminating a lot of the fluids that you have in you, and you need to have those replenished. But I want you to understand that you can also get water from the foods that you eat. So when I say that, I really want to make sure that you get it because it's so important that people think like, I can't drink 8 glasses, 8 things of water a day. Yeah, you can, but some of it you'll be getting in a lot of the foods, and I'm going to share that with you. So how long can you survive without food? In general, guys, it takes a person they can survive 1 or 2 months without food, right? They really can. However, water on different ways that you can have it, a person can only live without a week without water. Okay. After a week of water, it's just not a good thing, right? So I want you to understand that. So let me go here. I'm going to give you about 8 tips and then it's going to be over. Number one, some interesting facts about water. The digestive system depends on it. Yes, it does. If you're not putting water in your system, I don't know what you're doing. Dehydration, guys, can lead to digestive problems, constipation. We're going to talk about that, an overly acidic stomach, and it can increase the risk of heartburn and stomach ulcers if you're not putting enough water. Now, I have this picture here, and this picture is showing you how our colon is in our system. And when you eat food, it goes in and it has to travel all the way through your system to come out on the other end. And it depends on how it's traveling, depending on how much water you've been drinking. All right. So this is real because we wouldn't be living if we weren't shitting, right? Let's just keep it real. So, but it's important that you know how your shit looks. Okay, I don't mean to shock you, but this is real. How your shit looks, because it's important to know how much water that you need to be putting in your body or if it's too much. So let me just share this with you. This is called the Bristol stool chart. You can find this on the internet. As I said, you can find anything. And then what is important to me, because I don't know about you guys, but you should. It's nothing wrong with it. It's stuff that's coming out of your body. You should look in the toilet stool each and every time that you are like, doing your do, every time that you do, to make sure that the consistency of how things are moving is moving correctly. Let me slow down because I can get a little bit faster. And I don't want to do that. All right, so let me look at this, and I want you to look at this chart. So you see type 1. Type 1 is severe constipation. How many of you all have had severe constipation? Okay, you can put it in the chat. How many of you all have had mild constipation? So number 1 is it comes out, your stool comes out with hard lumps. I mean, you're sitting there and you're doing all that to try to get it out. That's severe constipation. Number type 2 is mild constipation. It's kind of lumpy and sausage-like, but it's still, coming out not the way it should. Number 3, type 3 is normal. It's kind of like a sausage shape with cracks in the surface and things of that sort. You can see what that looked like. Number 4 is it's a smooth sausage-like. And one of the things that is in particular is that the way you see that your colon is set up here, it's important for you to know that's truly how your bowel should be moving. It should be moving like in like one little major amount that you are releasing, and it's coming across like in a circular motion. That's the ideal. And the other thing is, let me just share this, it's not on here, is that if your bowels, if you're moving your bowels and it's sinking, you probably have too much sugar in your diet. If it's floating, that's a good thing. All right, that's a good thing. So now you can see here, 5 is lacking fiber, and this is what they look like. 6 is mild diarrhea, and 7 is severe diarrhea. I've been to Mexico before, and I had monsoon revenge, and it is not a pretty sight when you're a grown person and you are like basically shitting water on yourself. So if you have any of that, you really need to pay attention to your water and things of that sort, okay, and what you're putting in your body, which we'll talk about. Stop eating crappy foods tomorrow. But today, we're talking about drinking your water. So, interesting fact number 2. Everyone can drink as much water as they possibly can that you see here. And you see I've had it broken down to 6 a.m. When you get up in the morning, you can start having water. 7 a.m., you have your water. 9, and so on. That's eight glasses of water that you should have. However, what I want you to know is you need to make sure, let me move this out of the way. You need to make sure that you're not drinking too much water, because you don't want to intoxicate your body with too much water. And I'll share that with you. So let me go here. These are some hydrating foods, guys. These are some hydrating foods that will give you a lot of water. Cucumbers, for example, is 96% water. Pineapple, 95% water. So you see that here. So if you're drinking or you're eating, you're drinking water as much as you feel like you can, and also you're eating hydrating type foods, you're doing okay. But if you're never putting any of this kind of food in you, and I don't know who would not be, all of this healthy food, as well as drinking your water, if you're not doing that, then I can go back to that other chart and show you that's why you may be having some problems when you are eliminating, okay? So you want to make sure that you're doing your water. Due diligence. All right. Drinking too much water too quickly can lead to water intoxication. And this is what I was saying. That occurs when water dilutes the sodium level, guys, in your bloodstream, and it causes an imbalance of water in the brain, because your brain is 85% water. So you want to make sure that you're drinking your required amount of water. And I don't think regular people have to worry about that. Usually, if you're drinking it too much, and you intoxicate and have so much in your system, it's usually those real diehard athletes that is just like sweating and doing all that, and they're not putting enough water in them, or they're drinking way too much water, and that can happen. So you want to be very, very careful about that if you are one of those extreme athletes that, run major marathons and things like that, and you're putting down so much water, that it's a possibility that it could be too much. But for the regular folks like you and I, You know, we're drinking our water as much as we can. I have water here, so people who say that they don't like water, I put a couple of frozen blueberries and in here and some lemons. You see, it changes. It looks like it could be like a little pop or something. If you just can't stand just looking at water and feel like you have to suck it all down, do whatever you need to do. Put some cucumber in there. Put some lemons in there. Put some limes in there. Whatever you need to do, but drink your water. All right. I'll slow it down because I can see myself moving fast. All right. Number 4, interesting and useful facts. I want you to know that sometimes when you're losing weight, you're thinking like, oh man, I've lost 3 pounds. A lot of that sometimes is just water weight. And it could deceive you thinking that you're losing weight, but you're not losing any fat. You're just losing water weight. So you want to make sure that you don't get twisted in your head thinking like, oh, I've lost so much pounds, da, 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 da. And, it's not like actually losing the weight. And we talk about that in day 3. And day 3 is about moving your ass and getting it together so that all of these things are working together. That's what we're talking about. Number 5, coffee, tea, and soft drinks, even though they have water in it, it's not actual water because a lot of that has caffeine in it, and caffeine acts as a mild diuretic, and it prevents the water from traveling to important organs in your body. So you want to be very careful not to do that. And let me share something else with you I think that's very important. So I'm going to make this real for you. When you drink pop, and I hear people say, oh, I drink pop, it's got water in it, right? Every time you're drinking pop, do you see those cubes represent a teaspoon of sugar? Each one of those cubes represent a teaspoon of sugar. Every 4 grams, and anything you look at, any kind of any kind of products that are packaged or anything like that, or candy or anything like that, you look and see what's the grams of sugar on there, and you divide that by 4, and it's 1 teaspoon of sugar. So this is here for you to see. A lot of us are getting overweight and not taking care of ourselves because we're drinking a lot of soda. And that right there, instead of drinking water, you're having all that sugar put into your system. And sugar runs havoc in our system. It loves it. It's like, like, oh yeah, I love the sugar taste. However, it's just not good for us. It really isn't. And you'll notice the difference when you eliminate. If you decide to eliminate sugar for a week, man, when you go back and you have some honey, it'd be like, oh, this is so sweet. When you were like drinking a lot more than that, I'm a witness to that. So we need to eliminate that. And the first thing that you can do when you want to eliminate that is to not drink soda. Okay, drink water, doctor it up with whatever you need to do to make it look pretty, to do whatever, but lay off all that sugar because you're getting a lot of sugar in your system. So water, pop, always go for water. All right. All right, number 6. The other thing is this. I know some people who have asthma. When you are dehydrated and you don't have enough water, airways are restricted by the body in an effort to minimize water loss. And this can make your asthma or allergies worse. So you want to be very cautious about that. Everybody needs to be drinking water, guys. This is what this is all about. Number 7, it helps maintain blood pressure. Now, how many of you all have people in your family that has high blood pressure and they have to take medicine? My mother's been on blood pressure for as long as I can remember. She's 98 and she is addicted to the blood pressure medicine, obviously been taking it for like 50, 60 years. And because of that, if she doesn't take the medicine for like 1, maybe 2 days, her feet swell up like crazy because your body get used to it. But what if you did not have to take any blood pressure medicine because you are doing the right things for your body, which is what we're going to talk about each day. You're doing the right things for your body and you have gotten to the point where you don't need to take the medicine. Because I always say, once your body get used to it, your body will like react when it's not getting it. That medication, you get hooked to it and then it's like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Where is it? And all kinds of stuff is happening in your body. So you want to make sure that if you have high blood pressure, start drinking a lot more water. And we'll talk about, exercising on Wednesday, but start drinking a lot more water because it can help that tremendously. Number 8, more healthy water facts. When you are like drinking alcohol, guys, and as much as I hate to say this, but when you are drinking alcohol, try to have a drink. If you're going out or something, have a drink, and then the next drink you have is have a water. And then if you have another drink, have water, because this can reduce like having a hangover. And I know pretty much if you drink alcohol, you know what a hangover feel like, and it is not a good thing. It just kind of messes up your whole day, right? So you want to make sure that you want to have water in between each time that you have a glass of alcohol, and not drink and then have another drink and then have another drink and then have another drink, because you are like headed for waking up in the morning and feeling like shit. Yep, not a good feeling. So that's the reason why drinking and over consuming too much alcohol is not good for you. And we all know that. But if you do decide to partake in that, in your own little thing, you want to make sure that you're having like water in between each drink. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. All right, because that could help tremendously, because it helps dilute some of the bloodstream so that it's not just alcohol that your liver is trying to process constantly. That water is helping that. So you can still have a nice little good time and things of that sort. However, drinking the water in between will help tremendously. All right. And basically, that's the drinking waters episode that you have here, day one. It's so different when I'm doing this on Zoom and not doing it live. But tomorrow or Tuesday, when you get this and you watch this, Tuesday is going to be stop eating crappy foods. And so that's what we'll be on tomorrow. But today, I want you to pay attention. This is what we're talking about. That ends day one. Drink your damn water. Do your homework sheet. It should be there. And I'll see you tomorrow. Or on Tuesday, I'll see you for Stop Eating Crappy Foods on the live session. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. And I will see you tomorrow.